Does Alice in Borderland live up to all the hype? Stay tuned. We're going to be telling you right after
Oh,
this.
yeah.
Welcome, all you misfits and metalheads, to the cutting room floor. We are back. We had to take a week off for the holidays because, come on.
We
Every,
also moved our headquarters, so you'll notice things look a little bit
our
different.
mansion will be a little different going forward. Today is Wicked Wednesday, and guess what? We have an awesome horror series on Netflix called Alice in Borderland, brand new. Rose, why don't you tell them a little bit about it?
All right. Well, Alice in Borderland is a was based off of a manga series written by Haro Aso, and it was featured in Shogakukan Shōnen Sunday S magazine. All right, and it was obviously popular enough that it actually ended up getting an OVA, a three-part OVA. Which is, for those of you not familiar with what that means, it's just basically like a little short video, animation.
Yeah, like
series,
a short anime.
Yeah, it's a limited anime series. So yeah, and apparently I actually didn't get a chance to check this out because I was busy unpacking to our new headquarters. But
I
Thorn
got
Black
to
did.
check a little bit of this out. So I didn't know about the manga before seeing the live action show. So we saw the live action show, and then after that, I found out it was an anime. Went back, checked some of it out. I have to say, this port from anime to live action is pretty spot on. Some of the scenes in here, I'm like, exactly almost frame from frame from
Nice.
the anime, and that's exactly what I want to see when they're bringing something from that already had some source material. So kudos, Netflix, on that. This is a crazy one. You can feel the anime inspiration in it, can't you?
Absolutely, and there's definitely some characters specifically that are like super. The one that's like kind of supposed to be. So obviously, Alice in Borderland, Alice in Wonderland, they borrow a lot of the things from the main character. His name is Arisu, which sounds like Alice. That's how you would pronounce if you were in Japan trying to pronounce the name Alice. That's what it would sound like in Japanese. So, and then another character that he ends up becoming really good friends with is named Usagi, which means rabbit in Japanese. So, and there's also a character named Hatter.
The premise of this show, these guys, they're friends, and they're just having a good day. They don't really enjoy much out of life except for each other. They're having a good time. They run and hide somewhere really quick because they got in a little possible trouble with the popo. That's right, I said
Yep.
it.
They were up
and
to no good shenanigans, as teenagers do.
and the next thing you know, everybody in Tokyo is gone except for them. They can't find one living soul. It's not a good start.
Not a good start.
It's not
And
a
with
good
that
start.
ominous start, the death game begins. They end up crossing over. They see some lights like start lighting up, and this is special because basically, in addition to all of the people being gone, all of the electronics are fried. So there's no electronics either, unless the game masters decide that there is electronics. So they get called into this game, and they don't really know what that means, but this is the only place that's lit up. What else are you going to do? You
Yeah.
want to figure out the answers to why everybody
I
seems to
would
have
have gone
disappeared.
too. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah,
I would have
exactly.
gone too.
It's the decision that anybody would have made. But once you cross the barrier into the game, that's it. You are
You're stuck.
now stuck playing this game. You don't know the rules of this game. They didn't know what they were walking into, and of course, it's something freaking terrible. As with any death game, you gotta expect that terrible, terrible, terrible things are gonna happen.
Yeah.
And oh my God, let me tell you,
They
there
start
is so
to
much
figure
blood.
that out real quick.
There is so much blood and gore and people dying.
There's
in this
so many people dying in
live
this
action
show.
series.
It's a pretty big body count.
And it's pretty. They do a pretty good job of like all of the the practical effects for people getting shot, people getting what I mean. Like it's very realistic. There's gonna be some serious issues. Now we don't want to give too much away about it, but as you would expect, the games are revolve around playing cards, right? And so each challenge is determined by the number and the suit. The number indicates the difficulty of the death game, and the
suit.
suit shows you what kind of
What
game
kind
it
of game?
is.
Yeah.
With the worst kind of game being the heart games,
Oh,
because
man.
they have to do with manipulating the emotions of the players in the most god awful way that you could possibly imagine. Like,
And
this is brutal. It is brutal.
On top of all of this madness going on, you have a visa, which is the amount of time you have left to live. If you don't play a game, your visa will run out and you're just gonna die.
Yeah, a laser will come down and freaking shoot you right through your
Right
freaking
through
skull.
your head.
Like, boom, like
Just
with pinpoint
pinpointed.
accuracy.
Pinpoint
It does
accuracy.
not
You
matter
can-
where you are. You're
doesn't-
gonna die. So you have to play.
You have
There's
to
no
play a game.
option
You
of
can
not
skip
playing
a
these games.
day or two, maybe, depending on how much time is on your visa, but it's gonna run out and you have to play a game before that. There's no choice. There's no way out. So our guy wants to figure out what's going on, how to survive, how
And
to
how to
get
get
out
back
of
to
here,
the
how to
regular
beat it.
world or get out of this area so that he doesn't have to keep playing
Good
these games.
thing he's a gamer, so he does have some of that gamer sense. He figures out there has to be a game master, and he's starting to think like it is a game because it really is. So he's just trying to go a bit further into how to survive and how to figure this stuff out, and it's pretty fantastic. It's crazy. It's tense. These characters, I think they're very well acted.
Yeah, and you actually really feel for them. Like,
You
feel
do.
for
You really do.
You
I
feel
really
for
felt for these
Arisu.
guys.
You know, he starts off kind of, you kind of want him to toughen up a little bit faster than he does, but then at the same time, considering what he's being put through, I mean, it really does make sense. Before he got thrown into this game, he was what was called a NEET. So he had some issues at home, and he was just basically, just in his room all the time. And the only thing that really got him to come out of his shell and to get out of the house and stuff and make something of himself was his friends. So fortunately for him, his friends are here and with him, trying to play this game also. And as I mentioned earlier, he ends up in one of the games making friends with Usagi, who is a mountain climber. So she is a total badass.
Yeah.
I love this character.
I love how capable,
She
how
is
strong,
really
how quick
capable.
she is. She
really kicks some butt. And she's just determined, to make it through this. So they encounter each other in one game, and then she encounters him again later on. But I'm not going to tell you how or why because I don't want to ruin it for you.
Yeah.
We just want to give you an idea. As with all of our reviews, we really try to not give you spoilers. What we're trying to do is just give you a basic idea, not much more than you'd get from watching a trailer anyway, of what this thing is about, whether it's worth watching, and what we think about it.
Yes, and I think we're going to have to start wrapping this one up. I don't want to give too much away. There's definitely some twists and turns in here, which I thought was fantastic. When you think it's kind of going one way, then they add a whole new element of stuff just going on in the game.
What I like about it is that it's a really cool combination of not just physical challenges and obstacles, but also a lot of real mind-bending mental stuff too. He has to really work. People,
you'll be racking your
all the
brain
people
trying to
in this
figure it out
situation,
yourself.
and you,
Yeah.
the viewer, are kind of drawn into this thing of like trying to figure out what the heck is going on. How do you solve this game? Because if you don't solve the game, everybody dies. Everybody. So you have to figure it out, And totally cool. So with that being said, Thorn Black, how would you rate Alice in Borderland?
Alice in Borderland, I'm going to give this one a straight up 5. It's fantastic. The characters are well developed. You really get an attachment for them. It's really tense. The suspense in here is really strong and good. You're trying to figure all these games out for yourself. Like, how does he survive this? How would I survive this if I'm in that situation? It really drew me in. I cared a lot about what happened to these guys and the outcome of everything. It's fantastic. I think the hype is true. thumbs up for this one. I think the port from anime into live action, I think the live action is even better than the anime from what I've seen. It goes further than the OVA did
Well, it
in the
makes sense
Netflix
because
show.
the OVA is shorter.
That's
so
right.
this way you get more of a
But
chance to
it's
know the characters.
so well acted. I feel like this is one of the rare instances that the live action puts the anime to shame. Not to say the anime was bad. I think the live action is just that much better. Fantastic.
All right.
What are you going to give it, Rose?
I am also going to give this a 5. And also, I want to give you guys the heads up, guys and girls out there. There is a, I'm going to give you a trigger warning. There is a scene of suggested sexual assault in this. So it's not like I spit on your grave level or,
no,
no. It's not like crazy over the top, but there is a scene. It could be triggering. I always try to let you guys know about this kind of stuff in films and in anime because it's something that can be really upsetting and just kind of mess up your day, you know? So there you have it. There is a scene like that. Be warned. But
It's
aside
not
from that,
long. It's not super long, and it's not super gratuitous. And then once that's over, it moves on. So
exactly. So,
it's still worth watching if you have a problem with that. Just forward past that little section. It's not.
Yeah,
You're not going to miss too much.
It's not super.
Yeah,
long,
it doesn't eat up too much
you
time.
know, and you'll know it when you get to it. You'll know what's about to happen. It's pretty clear. It's gross, but
and then right back to the bloody goodness.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about this manga over the years.
I see why now.
This one has popped up a bunch of times, but somehow I just never ended up reading it. Because there's only so many hours in the day to check things out.
So many things to watch and review, right?
But this definitely gets me pumped and excited. I'm probably not going to read the manga though until we get another season.
I'm just
because I don't want to ruin.
I
don't want to ruin the puzzles for myself because that's part of the fun of watching.
Especially how closely they followed looking at the anime. I didn't see the manga, but looking at the anime, how closely they followed like scene by scene in a lot of the stuff.
Nice.
I definitely don't want to ruin any of that because I love the surprise of finding out for myself watching it live.
Cool. So here we go. A mind-bending death game that is very true to the original material. Cool characters, a little bit of Alice in Wonderland references. You know that we love us some Alice in Wonderland stuff. So that's also why I was excited to check it out. I saw the name and I was like, oh, I remember that name. I've heard about this before. That's cool that it's a live action now. Because I thought it was going to be an anime, which obviously it was, but it was a very short anime. To me, that's not a full series. It's just an OVA.
Definitely.
So, but anyway, at the end of the day, it's an awesome watch. Definitely check it out.
Go check it out.
It's on Netflix right now. Binge it. We're looking forward to the next season. There should be another one, hopefully.
Probably. I think I saw online already they're thinking of having the next season come out for next year because I think it's doing really well.
Excellent.
That's it for us. We are from the band Cut Like This. Please go support us, like and subscribe. Check our music out here on YouTube and Spotify. And coming soon, we'll be invading TikTok. Until then, we are